Welcome back to the Call of Duty World League presented by PlayStation 4. This is the Global Pro LAN League. Everyone playing in the same venue. Week 3, we already know it's eUnited off to a hot start at 3-0. On the other side of the stage, though, they're going up against Europeans who are playing for their lives. They need to win out on the weekend to get into the $500,000 playoffs. Fellas, Millenium has their work cut out for them. We have Joey, Mr. Merc, DeLuca, alongside TP and Felony on our analyst desk. And before we jump into the match, I want to talk a little bit about just the stakes here for Millenium. You were doing the numbers, you were doing them all last week, and as a member of Rise Nation, Felony, what's at stake here? What does Millenium need to accomplish, and how do they need to get it done?
So for Millenium to qualify for the stage 1 playoffs, they have to win all 3 of their matches. For them to qualify for that 3rd spot, I believe they have to win 2 of their matches, and they have to beat Epsilon. So those are the 2 things that they need to look forward to while going into these matches over the next 2 days.
So basically, if you lose here, you're not getting top 2. You're not in that $500,000 playoff bracket. But if you're able to finish 3rd place on the weekend, you're getting locked into stage 2. You're playing in groups at our Anaheim $200,000 event. And most importantly, you're going to be playing for that $1.5 million at COD Champs. Now it's time, though, Merc, to talk about this upcoming match. And you and I had a laugh talking about eUnited. They're playing with no pressure. In fact, Gunless and Silly, they still got X's on their hands from the clubs they were out until 4 a.m.
That's just the story of these guys, man. They just don't seem to care as much as others. They just do what they need to do. They get in the zone. They know what they have to do when they get to the venue, though. You heard it last night. I mean, as soon as they go down 0-2, Gunless said, okay, guys, this is time. We have to step it up. It just seems that they know how to kick it right into that top gear.
And TP, you've played with all kinds of different players throughout your career. Have you ever been around a guy like Silly who can go out till 5 in the morning and then show up and drop even bigger numbers than he did the day before, well rested?
Not usually. I used to play with Silly a lot back in the day. I don't think he was as crazy then as he was now, but man, he's really good at it apparently. If I did that, I probably wouldn't wake up the next day.
And their hardpoint win rate has been ridiculous, but we just saw their weakness once again. It's been their uplink. Search and destroy, though, that was a great strength going up against Epsilon. But when we look back here, who played eUnited better? Was it Epsilon today, or was it Millenium yesterday to open up our show?
I would have to say Epsilon. I think that game 4 was so close. Epsilon was just a few, clutch moments away from taking to a game 5. Millenium, though, they handled that uplink yesterday. So, if Millenium, if they're able to play that and put together a complete series, they haven't been able to do that all weekend. They can give eUnited a run for their money.
And we kind of talked about the strength of eUnited. They wait for each other. They attack as a 4-man team. This Millenium squad, it looks like a squad that just has 2 duos kind of shining at any moment. Never have we seen all 4 players going off at the same time. They have not won a hardpoint, and they have not lost search and destroy, which some people say was a strength of their game mode.
Yeah. So for this Millenium team, the only 2 maps they've won all weekend have been 2 uplinks, which is eUnited's weakest game mode right now. So if all 4 of them can just turn their head to the past, say, hey guys, we need to focus up. When these next 3 matches, everything's good. They can just do that, all come together, and all play consistent, they can take a series.
Marky B, he's been playing on fire. Nolson has had great games, but when Nolson and Marky B are playing well, Moose and Petey disappeared. Vice versa, we have seen as well. As when we look at these 5 maps, though, how do you see things playing out, TP? Is this a hot 3-0?
I'm going to give them a little bit of an edge in the uplink. They look really good at it. The EU teams have obviously practiced that bit of a different strategy that these NA teams are not really used to. I think if Millenium's going to have any sort of chance in a search and destroy, they have to slow down these rounds. You can see how fast LG and eUnited are playing search and destroy in general, and they've had a lot of success on it, so they need to switch it up.
All right, the game is ready. Let's send it over to our casters, Maven, Mr. X. Let's kick this one off.
Great stuff, guys, as always. All right, so Millenium has to do what Epsilon could not. If Millenium takes this, things become much more interesting from the standpoint of who gets maybe that 3rd spot, as the top 2 seem to be not solidified yet, but eUnited and
very
LG
close.
Looking very good. I know for me, with Millenium, Moose has to be big. He has to have one of those series where we talk about him being one of the top players in all of Europe. He has got to do it right now.
Yeah, and you see Moose off the break. He's going to be running those double clusters, throwing them over towards the side of eUnited, getting the players weak, trying to fly in, pick up some kills. Nolson comes in over the top, picks up 2 of them. It's a good start here for Millenium, but I feel like we've said that a few times. Good start for Millenium. Next thing you know, they're down by a lot. So you're going to need to see Millenium really put together a good game. It would be huge just in terms of confidence if they won the Hardpoint.
It's funny, when you look at that stat line from eUnited, you know, you see a similar when we talk about Dallas for Luminosity, but the game mode they struggle in is Search. Versus here, it's not as deadly if you struggle in Uplink because you play it once, right? You play the other modes twice. If you're lights out in 4 of your 5 games in a best of 5, you're gonna win a lot of series.
Yeah, I mean, with it's a very good point you make there, Clint.
That's what they call me, the analytical wizard, Matt.
You're better in most of the game modes in a series. You're going to win.
Yeah, would you say that I am the John Madden of Call of Duty?
I mean, Billy Bean in baseball, you know, he's known for his statistics. I am surprised he hasn't reached out to you yet.
That's true. I'm sure I'll be hearing from him soon. But look at this opening from Millenium. eUnited yet to get a point on the board. They're set up in Turbine as well. The top side spawn for now control, but as you see the setup continue to improve for Millenium, that number 6 on the mini-map, that's going to be Arcity spawning the whole way out. But even with 3 players here, you can't let the 3 guys just bust it open like that.
They do it time and time again. Pristini just so aggressive, comes in, picks up 3 kills. Watching the right-hand side here. So we'll go on board with Arcities as he's going to pick up 1, quickly falls. Millenium looks like they're going to opt to rotate. You see those 3 and 4 arrows on your mini-map. Nolson and PD, they will go over towards Hangar. Give up the last few seconds here to eUnited.
Well, Marky B, 6 and 2, but it's a 4 streak from Pristini. I'm curious to see how close he is to get to streaks. We'll get to him after the play from Arcities. So he's right there, 225 in order to pick up this Trinity rocket. Pristini, the one coming up the big streaks in the last series there on throwback Hardpoint. Let's see if he can do it again.
Still working towards the streaks around the backside. Gonna try and gain some vision. They're trying to get him some easy kills now. They don't want him to be the first one, the entry in towards the Hardpoint. He has his teammates there, gonna come around the outside, be able to take out PD. Smart play there from eUnited.
He gets that, and he gets the points for taking over control of the Hardpoint. 1 away from the bombardment. 8 and 4 is Pristini. Doing it all right now, just trying to control the back spawn, make sure nothing fluky comes through for Millenium right now. They're all pushing through the backside. Let's see if they can keep control. 1 more kill is all he needs. He's got him tagged, but he will drop, so it'll just be the Trinity rocket to work with.
Yeah, he pre-fires that corner. It's a smart play from Moose, lets him just waste all his bullets. Then Moose comes out and challenges him. But just like we said, that Millenium, they come out, they get this lead. eUnited takes it right back.
Well, remember the Scorch versus Luminosity. They came out, they looked really strong, they had control throughout most of the game, and then Luminosity took control. I know it didn't take eUnited nearly as long, but Millenium not necessarily struggling to start strong. It's whether or not you can get that consistent effort over a full 10 minutes.
And I feel bad for the guys on the side of Millenium. You see the streaks coming down here from Pristini. He's only able to get 1 with the Trinity, but you know, these guys, you know, veterans in the Call of Duty scene for a very long time now. You know, they came here early, they're grinding online. You know, they're coming to the venue a week earlier, playing against some of the teams. Everybody said they're looking so good, and they've just come out this weekend, been really flat.
Well, I wonder if it's a confidence thing once that happens, because, right, you come in with a lot of confidence, you know, people are talking you up, you feel good, you've been playing teams tough, but then you come in and just get whacked there in day 1. It's got to hurt you mentally.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you go through so much mental preparation as, you know, on top of just preparing for the actual games themselves, you know, with your mechanics, skill-wise, you know, going over things with the team, that to come in and be so confident, you know, playing so well, and not have a series win under your belt, it's got to be tough to swallow.
Well, maybe this is the series in which they can get it done. We're into our second rotation. They have a 15-point advantage. They had a really good job at Bridge the first time around, I think outscoring 38-0. Can they do it again here? No. eUnited break through and get control quickly. Nolson still here, doesn't finish the kill. The back play keeps one alive, and then he gets team killed. That is probably one of the more frustrating experiences Nolson's gone through.
Puts a few shots in, runs away, gets naded by a teammate. Not ideal there for Nolson as the back shield saves a member of eUnited. Nolson, the Hardpoint, picks up 2 there. But Millenium, they cannot, I mean, with eUnited so close, at least I just have this feeling that like eventually they're just gonna break one of these hard points, start to rack together a good chunk of time.
Nice job by Moose, though. 2-piece gets it done. The final 10 ticks going the way of Millenium, and now they're set up again. Remember, they were set up well the first time at Turbine, and it was a 3v4 that eUnited was actually able to break through. Can they do it again? It's going to be a Scarab out as a scouting tool around this bottom side, able to hit 1, maybe 2 on the cross, at least slow down the push, but now they're all going to be flying into the wall run. First, Moose cuts down. Second, Moose looking at it. He's able to pick up 2. That's huge for his team. You can't allow 2 players from eUnited to... Why?
They did it again. I mean, PD slides in. Gunless alive for eUnited.
Okay, they hold on.
They're able to
man.
clear him out, but here comes more players. So finally,
All right.
see PD and Millenium get a hold here.
God, if they would have broke 2 versus 3, geez, especially when you get the close spawn for Moose to come back in, basically a 2 versus 4. It comes down to one person really holding on for Millenium. But there you go, a much better job at Turbine, and the lead continues to grow.
And now we see on the rotation over to Hangar, it's Millenium picking up 2 kills. eUnited, though, still spawning in that back cave area you can see on the right-hand side of your mini-map. Where Moose is headed right now. This is the area of the map you want to control.
Ooh. A tough gunfight, but able to take it. You know, we talked about Moose coming into this. He has to have a big performance. You see him, 19 and 12. A minute plus in the hard point, doing an excellent job. The rest of the team supporting them, all sitting around even. Silly, who's been Mr. Consistent. I mean, Silly and Gunless have definitely been the 2. They're struggling big time right now, but when does that switch flip? You got to think at one point they're going to start to go off, and we'll see if Millenium can weather the storm. Moose already going to have camo on. He spotted 3, gets an assist on 1, able to stay alive around the edge. Marky B trying to cover him. Nice movement there around the backside as he is just gunning right now. Moose, 4 in a row, 23 and 12. What a beast.
Really confident there with the camo, pops it, able to pick up some kills right after. And Millenium, they will hold on to the Hangar hardpoint. One more member of eUnited inside.
Streaks.
Trading them out. Moose gets streaks off of that. Millenium coming out hot here in game 1.
All right, you had a similar lead, though, over Luminosity in your first series of the day. You cannot let it slip away. Put the foot to the throat of eUnited and take them out now. Nice shots by Marky B. He has FTL jump to work with as well. We're now going to rotate over to Drill. Did they use the streaks here to break? We might see Moose call something in. Yeah, so Moose is going to call on the Trinity Rocket. He wants to try and bust it open with this, at least going to push players into cover. He gets a team kill there, does get Gunless as well. We'll see if that works out. I don't think it does. You get nothing from the Trinity.
Yeah, and Gunless having a rough game. 9 kills this moment in time. We talked about how consistent he's been in respawn game modes, able to get that active camo, such a powerful ability. I mean, Moose dominating that matchup right now.
Oh my God, Arcity staying alive inside. Did Moose use his other streak as well? I wasn't sure if I saw a glimmer of a bombardment there, but the Trinity certainly used. You're going to get the final time here for Millenium, and Bridge has been probably where they've been their best. So let's see if they can continue to dominate on that particular hard point. They're going to need a break. Moose is going to call on a Scarab on the minimap. You see from Nolson's POV, double Scarab coming at you. Can it back him up? He's able to tag one. Marky B's going to finish both of those kills, and that's a nice break here behind those double Scarabs.
Yeah, and you mentioned, Moose did actually use all of his streaks.
Did he use the bombardment too?
He did use the bombardment during that, so not going to have that going forward, but it may not matter. Millenium winning all the engagements on the hill here. Nolson getting close to streaks. He falls. Sprostini gets behind, picks up 2.
That reactive could have been big, because if he doesn't have that and Nolson wins it, Nolson picks up a Trinity, he's just a killer assist away from getting to the bombardment. That reactive ends up working out better than he maybe thought it would have.
Moose has dominated this first game, man. It kind of reminds me when me and Jack went to London. Moose was so good at that event. Playing up to his potential here in game 1.
Well, now they have to try and break it again. They have to wait for Pristini to get his health back as a Scarab kind of caught him in the face. That nade underneath you thought might finish him, but it's PD this time holding the edge. Last time it was Moose. 2 drop though. PD with a 2-piece. Nolson should find one from behind. It's going to be a one-on-one here. Where do the spawns come in? It's a close spawn for eUnited, so Millenium's going to have to fight the whole way back. Nolson still doing what he can. He's staying alive, just waiting for his team to get here. Can he find one more kill? He's all over the place. Can't get it, but that's just unfortunate. I mean, eUnited gets the close bottom spawn and observation deck. You see for Millenium, they spawn all the way out in Hangar, and that's going to be some time most likely for eUnited.
eUnited needs all of the time right here. PD comes through, able to get 2 kills, but here comes eUnited trying to get back onto the hard point.
They're trying to fight in. You can't win it here anymore if you're Millenium. eUnited picking up the time. You see Hangar now getting set up. Take a look at the top right of the minimap. All the purple areas, arrows inside. The first gunfight, though, going to go the way of Pristini.
And Gunless getting very close to camo. You see Pristini picking up those 2 big kills. The hard point's going to pop up. And you'll see that Millenium spawning pretty far away. And eUnited gets a break. Oh no.
My God, you were set up with 3 players there, and Pristini said, I don't care. He kills 2 out in rocks. You saw it go down kind of on the minimap. Wow.
And Silly's starting to heat up now. He's on a 4 streak. Gunless getting close to this camo. Things could not get any worse. Here comes the camo play from Gunless. He actually gets team killed there by Arcides.
What the hell?
Quite odd, but eUnited still able to hold on. The players of Millenium just flooding towards the hard point.
I don't even know if you push it this again. I know there's 25 seconds, but you can't just hit it from one angle. There's flying across lava pit and bridge. They're going to get cut down. You're going to feed streaks to Silly.
Yeah, and if we could, I would love to go on with Silly, see how close he is towards these score streaks.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Going into drill, he's going to have these to break. eUnited has taken the lead. Millenium, they were in control all game long, and things are just falling apart. They could not be any worse.
Here come the streaks, and if you're Millenium, you are going to have literal nightmares about Scorch Hardpoint tonight. That is the exactly. That's exactly how I feel. You see the shot of Moose.
I mean, he can't play any better. I mean, Moose cannot play any better for this team. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
That's 2 Scorches you should have won. You should have beat Luminosity. You should have beat eUnited here. I don't think they scored a point over the last 60, 90 seconds of gameplay there.
I think, so the difference I kind of think towards the end is I believe PD uses reactive on Turbine, gets in, he picks up like 1 kill or 2 kills maybe, and then I believe eUnited just they spawn close and they stay alive for long enough to be able to trade that out. And Nolson stays alive, and decent amount from Millenium, and then Pristini, I mean, the 2 big kills in the rotation of Hangar.
That's the spawn that we talk a lot about with Scorch. You know, if you have that top side, it's like depending on the positioning of the other players, you might spawn close kind of on the top side, or you could spawn all the way out in Hangar. Millenium spawns all the way out in Hangar. eUnited pops up close, and they're able to take control and just completely rally from there. I wonder if that little sequence of events just maybe tilted Millenium a little bit.
It's a game where Millenium, I mean, they have score streaks. They outslay eUnited by 5 kills. You know, they have this massive lead. If you can't close those games out, which ones are you going to close out?
Well, Millenium, we've talked about their ability throughout the year to beat Europe's best, but they haven't got it done against North America's best. Let's take a look at how they got here.
The roster of Marky B, Petey, Moose, and Nolson came into Infinite Warfare under the banner of Team Infused. Prior to CWL Dallas, Millenium, one of the biggest esports organizations in Europe, acquired the roster and will be representing them in Stage 1 of the Global Pro League. Prior to the change in organizations, the roster was rebuilt to begin the year as Zero left to join Team Orbit. He was replaced by Nolson, who was a rising star in 2016. The team is still led by 23-year-old veteran Marky B, who is a long-standing European player who has been competing since 2011. The team's first major international event was CWL Vegas. Top 16 finish didn't turn any heads, and at first it seemed like losing Zero may be too much for the roster to overcome. However, they quickly rebounded with a 4th place finish at CWL London, and the run did not stop there. A top 6 finish at Atlanta would follow, and the hype began to reach a fever pitch. The following weekend, they took 4th place at CWL Paris, and they cemented themselves at the top of the EU food chain alongside Splice. The defining moment for the roster was clearly the 4th place finish at CWL Paris. They outplaced every other European team, proving that they have what it takes to beat any teams in their region. As far as players' performances go, Moose's play at CWL London was off the charts. He ended the tournament with the highest overall KD and looks to be in his best form of all time. Additionally, Nolson erupted at CWL Dallas, posting a 1.18 respawn KD, which was the 8th highest of all the players at the tournament. One thing to keep an eye on is Millenium's inability to beat top North American talent. Through the entire 2017 CWL season, their only standout victories are over Rise Nation in Atlanta and a Luminosity roster who was playing with a fill-in at Paris. We know they can beat teams from their region, but do they have what it takes to beat the best teams in North America? Tune in on May 5th through the 7th to see how Millenium will perform in Stage 1 of the Global Pro League.
You hear the question from Rich there, and the answer so far has been no. And don't you feel like every week there's been you know, a team or two where you're like, God, man, whether it was Mind Freak in week 1, they play teams close, but they don't get the win. Last week with Fnatic, they play teams close, but they don't get the win. Like, that's how in Millenium and Epsilon, you get that same feel. Like, they play them tough, but they can't get over the hump.
Yeah, like they're in these games, but like you don't expect them to win them,
Which makes it more painful, I think.
Which does. And eUnited, you know, the hanger, 109. You see it there. Pristini, that was, I don't want to say it's all him, but getting those 2 kills on the rotation, I mean, makes this a winnable game for United. I mean, they're able to take all of that time on hanger at the end. You see him in the stat bar at the bottom, just a sick game.
And you watched it happening on the minimap. Like, when you get spawning topside, I know there's 30 or so seconds left, you feel you have to go, but you have to set up some kind of pinch. If you just try to hit across Lava Pit and through, you know, that bridge, you're gonna get slaughtered. You just can't break that way. It's so rare. It's so easy to hold off when that's the push.
It's like nerves. I feel like when you have, it's actually nerves when you have a big lead and like you see it going away and you know like, oh man, like we can't blow this game, we can't blow this game. Then you just start to go one by one, like you're trying to make a play, like, and it's just not, sometimes the simple things are extremely difficult to do under those type of situations.
Well, let's see if Millenium can bounce back in the search and destroy. We're gonna hop on board first and foremost with Gunless. That was not his best map, but they certainly turned up in the latter half of the game. The first gunfights game at Pristini, he saw a couple. He is flying forward. We'll back up for now. Wise choice.
Yep, pushes Millenium all the way back because they were trying to push here over towards the A site, and they're going to back out, and they may challenge this yet again. Pristini able to get one, traded out very quickly, but now Millenium's going to be scared to go in towards A.
And you got to think Pristini saw the entire team, basically, when he spots there. At least 2 to 3 of them. Now they're just flying over mid-map. Silly coming from high in the sky, gets a pick. Silly with another kill, starting out 2-0. And my God, he has been so good this weekend.
He's been great today. In the last series we casted, and picking up 2 early kills now. Now he gets the streaks in the last game towards the end. It's a 2v1. Marky B, the only one up, needs to get bomb, get it down, or kill both players on the side of eUnited to take round number 1.
Can Marky B clutch this up? You see where bomb is. He's nowhere in a position to make a play. He's just going to have to beam 2 players. They're going to run into each other here shortly. They're going to come check the bomb. He's just going to have to beam him. Can he get it done? 1 up close. He's going to get pinched from behind, and that's it. It would have had to been basically a body stack there. Somehow he gets lucky.
I mean, he would have had to kill both players within 5 seconds. Really unlikely scenario. Though could have thrown eUnited off a little bit. Obviously, you know, many players in that situation try and get bomb, try and get it down. They probably thought, hey, we've checked A. Let's go clear out B, kill him while he's on bomb.
Well, maybe he caught him he had a chance to catch him by surprise. They think he's going to be there, and I don't know. I don't know what the play call was from Marky B, but at no point did he think about getting that bomb and getting it planted in that situation. You saw a sniper over the top. Let's see. Silly has been able to hit shots at range here. Things developing slowly towards the B site.
Yeah, and if it is the sniper for eUnited, we have seen Arcides pull off some fantastic shots.
I think it was Pristini. At least I saw it for a second. Yeah, it was Pristini. I thought I didn't say it because I didn't want to sound dumb because it's usually Arcides.
It usually is Arcides.
Well, it's mostly on throwback, I think, is where Arcides likes to pull it out. Pristini going to be the one doing it here. Oh, God, he basically splits them, gets pushed. Nice job by Millenium. You have man advantage, but now it's Silly. He has the ability to clutch this. They saw him cross. He should be dead. They're going to chase it. Does he get across in time? They didn't see him. I thought for sure they saw him cross.
I thought for sure they would have seen him. Okay, he sees one on the wall run.
Now he's definitely got a chance. He sees one cross, one outside. Can he win the first one? Not able to do it. Moose wins it, as Moose continues to be the one consistent player that can win one-on-one gunfights versus the eUnited lineup.
I was pretty convinced that they had saw Silly.
I thought for sure they did.
Evidently, they just walked right by him.
Yeah, just a timing thing.
He gets into a position where he can almost make a play. Moose, though, wins the one-on-one engagement on the outside. Let me take a look at it here in the final kill cam. It'll be the first round on the board for Millenium.
All right, Millenium. It's still early in the series. You played them so tough, but you saw the shot of Moose after that one. Just the devastation, the frustration after losing that was such a remarkable performance. Trying to rebound here, and you're tied up at 1 round apiece. Take a look at the 3-stack on defense from eUnited on the A site. They shouldn't see anything soon. They'll probably begin to bounce on backwards. Yeah, RC just spotted him. Wisely gets away with his life. Rallies the boys for help.
Millenium going with a very slow push here, waiting for players to kind of fly on in for eUnited, but no reason for eUnited to get that aggressive here. The nades are coming down. Gunless may slide out, try and kill the bomb planter here if he spots him.
Gunless, now he gets the cue to go, gets some shots, and gets away on the flank. Perfect from Marky B. 2 down. You have advantage for the moment. It's Pristini now all by his lonesome. Pristini's going to be coming from the other side. He gets spotted now, gets 1 bullet in, and he just has to try and make a play. Here comes the hero. Over the top, cut down, back-to-back rounds for Millenium.
Fantastic play there by Marky B. Going on the flank, picking up 2 kills. There'll be another round for Millenium. I think it's just about them getting a map win under their belt here against this team, against eUnited, and trying to build some kind of confidence.
Well, it's just the most terrifying bit of this isn't their performance against eUnited and LG. It's more the 3-0 yesterday from Epsilon that ends up being the
tough one.
The real problem here for their hopes of getting top 3.
So now we will see eUnited go over towards the B bomb site. Should be pretty aggressive. You see Gunless with bomb in hand. Just keep an eye on Gunless and Moose. Both players with active camo. Moose very close to it at 4-1. Gunless maybe gets over to bomb, gets a plant down. He'll picks up a kill. Good spot. Pristini, I believe, falls off the map there, so not ideal.
Okay, well, you give Millenium a chance to get a 3rd round on the board. This is when you have to win. You get a freebie from Pristini. You have to win this. His brother said, hey, I want to take a dip with you. Almost goes off the map as well, but he's able to stay on. Bomb yet to be planted. They're working forward. Arcides is so close to turning this into a 3v3 multiple times. Can't finish the kill. It's Silly that actually does it. They're going back and forth. All of a sudden, it's 2v2. Now 1v1. Moose versus Gunless. Moose just shy of that camo. He has been the best player for this Millenium team. He knows they still have to plant this bomb. He's going to back up. Try to play this at range. He knows Gunless is using NERAD. And he's also got a streak to work with. He's 100 off the bombardment, so this is a huge round.
Be a huge kill if Gunless can pick this up. 9 seconds left, though.
Perfect.
Moose gonna know exactly where he is.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Oh. I got real nervous for a moment there with Gunless having an ERAD in that spot if he's able to get off Bond and snap. But good job by Moose clutching up.
It's a lot harder than it should have been.
I just stopped talking because I was nervous.
I was okay for a second there. Did you think Gunless was gonna kill him?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, so did I. Oh,
he only ends up hitting him, I think, with a bullet, but still, nice job there. Wow. All right, so Pat just told me hit him with 3 bullets, so Gunless had a good chance to win that.
Jump into this next round. So you see Moose with camo, streaks available. Gunless getting closer to camo.
What more can you do if you're Moose through these first 2 games?
Nothing. If I'm Moose, I'm looking around. And I'm like,
please.
Anyone want to help?
I would appreciate it. All right, PD, though. Open things up for Millenium. They have the advantage for the moment. Silly answers back, though. Gunless rebounds with 1 as well. 3 versus 2. Remember, Moose has some streaks to work with. Does he check the close corner? He does not. He's gunned down. And eUnited get another round on the board.
You're up. You got streaks. You got camo. It's a must-win S&D.
Yeah, I mean, you were up 2 rounds with full streaks and advantage in payloads. It's just a game you should win. But that's the same way we felt about game 1, right?
Yep. They end up losing that one.
I feel just sorry for European fans. Just some of these matches, the ways they've gone about. Like, it's like you almost rather get pounded.
Well, now you have streaks on the defensive side of things, right? I mean, you know they're going over towards B. Maybe you invest a streak into this. You have camo. There's a lot of ways Millenium can play this to win this round.
That's what they opt to do. So they come in. You see the FTL jump to try to get away with the life. It doesn't matter. Moose is able to connect with both players by the bomb site. The streaks come up massive. It's now Arcides by his lonesome. He would have to pick up 3 players there. Doesn't finish. Marky B, another round on the board. Good use of the streaks.
And if you're eUnited, you got to know that they have streaks, potentially go in over towards A.
Yeah, I was surprised that Gunnels didn't keep going forward and try to push back with the player that FTL.
That's what
Maybe
Silly
he
did,
didn't think he had time maybe to get there. Yeah. But you're not going to survive in that little nook.
So Silly flies forward with the FTL. He's able to get one. Maybe if there's another player there, you start trading those out.
He might not even be able to get there in time with the Trinity rockets coming in. But all right, here we go. Round 7 is up. They're going to send 2 players on defense, be a bit more aggressive. They've been having a one-man stand for a lot of these rounds. Camo is available for Moose. They're inching their way forward. How do they opt to attack this?
You use Camo, you got to get something good for it. Here comes more streaks, or maybe it's just a ping from Moose here. See if he actually drops them down.
It looks
like it's just going to be a ping for now. So brings the score streak up just to get vision on where the players of eUnited are. Going to put it away.
Well, they knew 2 were on the flank and 2 were hitting from the front. That's just an awkward situation for Marky B. Moose uses his camo here, and everyone ends up dropping. Can they clutch this? He's behind a few players. One gets away. It's now Moose by himself to clutch. He's tagged, trying to get away with his life. He's retreated for now. They're hunting him down. He re-challenges. Oh, my God, Moose! Moose! Moose!
I was like, that is so bad. I was like...
They did not expect him to come sliding out with authority there.
Who would have?
Oh, man, he is feeling good. Can he hand like a little bit of whatever he's got going on to his teammates? Just a bit.
11-2 here in game number 2. Moose trying to get Millenium on the board in this series.
Moose can't die. You have to stay alive.
If he dies, the round is over. But now, I mean, the United start tracking together a few of these rounds. I mean, Moose, getting close to another camo here, but Gunless will have his very soon. Pristini opening things up with first blood. Nolson and Petey in the feed. Moose is still alive.
It's going to be just on Gunless. He has camo. This is incredibly winnable. So here's going to find the first, not able to finish it. The Moose is trying to come around the backside. Does he get there in time? Moose peeks. I think he just missed him slipping inside. There's going to be the first win. He does have camo here. Moose is behind. No, doesn't finish him. Welcome to my camo. Moose might have hit him with like one bullet as he tried to get out the doorway there. If he just finishes him, God.
Gunless is just so smart with camo. Comes right back inside, destroys Moose at close range with the E-Rad. I'm hoping Millenium closes.
Marky B talked about their frustration yesterday. The comms were off. They were losing a lot of situations in which they had man advantage. There they lose it. I know camo's a big part of it, but still very winnable. If Moose is in a position, he should have been able to kill him before he got out the doorway.
Camo is the reason they lose that round.
But it's still
a fantastic play by Camo.
You should still win a 2v1, man. You got to be able to trade it immediately. But we've seen that happen with Camo.
Camo's a very powerful ability.
Yeah, more times than I can count. Okay, Millenium just needs one more round here. Pristini just got eyes on one, and they want to get forward. The bombardment calling in. First blood goes the way of Millenium. Can they take this round? Again, you have man advantage. You have bomb planted. Here comes Silly and crew. Silly's going to drop as well. It's now an Arcades and Gunless. Can they clutch up in a 2v4 to push this game 2? They're trying. It's all on Arcades now. He wins yet another one. He only has 17 seconds left, and there he drops. There is a map on the board for Millenium, and now you got to be thinking, we should be up 2-0 in this series.
They very well could. Millenium has been strong in the uplink, so this is a series that could get interesting very fast.
And Millenium, you saw the stat from eUnited for uplink. Millenium has been good there. They've won 66% of it, and that was their only map wins coming into this.
The only thing they've been good at thus far.
Did they take the edge now? Did they take control of this series? They win the uplink, and they're up 2-1.
That's the first S&D they win. So I don't think they have control of.
No, I mean, if they win, do they win the uplink and do it? Is what I'm saying.
So if they win the uplink, I think this is definitely a game 5. I mean, we have seen Millenium not win a hardpoint thus far. I mean, regardless, I mean, they got a lead. They have score streaks. They have not been able to win a hardpoint. I would be really hard-pressed to imagine they win game 4. But the uplink is a very winnable game for Millenium. They've been good in the game mode thus far this weekend.
They have to win the uplink. They absolutely have to get that done. They've won 2 so far this weekend. Can this be number 3? We'll find out after this quick break. Our G Fuel key player matchup for this series will be Gunless the Great versus the mighty Moose.
Yeah, and Moose has been incredible in this matchup. You see his uplink KD at 1.10. But on the other side, I think it's Gunless. You know, fantastic in Hardpoint. S&D, he's been great as well. Uplink, he's slowed down a little bit, so it's going to be important to see which one of these players gets camo first.
Who gets the edge the rest of the series? Only time will tell. That is it for your G Fuel key player matchup. Here we go. It is time for the Game 3 uplink. If you're just joining us, the series is tied at 1-1. Millenium could have taken that first game. They fall a bit short. The search and destroy, though, they handle. Now, can they keep it going in uplink?
I mean, you kind of look back at this series, if they are able to handle business in uplink, this could have been a 3-0 in favor of Millenium.
Imagine if
it
that
would have been
happened.
so big for their chances.
Epsilon would have been like, I mean, that would have changed things greatly.
Oh, Epsilon would be in a very bad spot.
Yeah, would have flipped
That was the case.
the EU's chances.
But it's not the case.
It is not. But they still have a chance here in the series. Now, looking at Frost, you can think, yesterday eUnited beat Luminosity in a close game on that map. At the same time, Millenium has looked very strong in uplink. What do you need? Do you need just another? So we know Gunless hasn't been great in uplink. We need him to be slow, and Moose just keep on beasting, right? I mean, Moose has been perfect.
Yeah, Millenium's going to win. That is definitely a perfect recipe, but they're going to need one of those other players to step up. Unlike S&D, where you can kind of get by with one person going 12-4 with the 3.0 KD and getting camo almost basically twice, you're not going to be able to get by like that in a respawn game mode. You're going to need somebody else to step up.
Very rarely do you see a 3 at the start of a KD. That's how good of a map he had, 12-4. That was absolutely absurd after the monster game 1. Does he run out of gas? Does he keep it going here? On Frost, obviously going to be very fast. A lot different than uplink we saw them win on earlier today. The Erad going to be a much more common player. Who's the guy that's going to step up? I think Nolson's going to be the guy. I know he should be the guy, but he hasn't.
Should be. I mean, he has not been fantastic so far this weekend, and a lot of the talk around this Millenium team, why they were so good coming into this weekend, was the play of Nolson. I think I remember Karma talking about on his stream, like Nolson against them in like some kind of online scrim started out like 18-0 or something crazy like that. So I mean, Nolson is putting up some crazy numbers online. Gonna need to kind of match that here at LAN.
All right, well, Moose's first gunfight not going great as it's Gunless and Pristini finding the opening kills, but Nolson able to do it. So you see a couple of K-bars early in the game. I'm curious to see the weapon comp from both teams throughout this. The first toss is up and over the top. That's going to be snagged from midair by Nolson. Let's see what he's able to do with it.
Yeah, Gunless tries to go down on the lower wall run at the top side of the minimap, get some quick points on the board. Not able to do so as Millenium able to jump up top, intercept them, but 2 quick kills come in from eUnited. Millenium answers right back, and Petey picks up 2 nice kills, starting off things 4-0.
And he's got Marky B leading the way. He's trying to get back to mid-map so they can get this pressure to map. They have to find a couple of kills to even have a chance to open things up as everyone now back off spawn for eUnited. Pristini strikes first. One more over the top. I guess Moose was able to cover Petey there. He wins one of his own as well, wins a second as well. Trying to stay alive. Does he have any kind of cover here? He needs it. Moose gets it. Moose and Petey combined to get all 4 players down. There's a window for them to go through for that dunk. There it is. The slam on in. The full streaks for Petey. And the snap onto Gunless is icing on top.
You needed somebody to step up for this Millenium squad other than Moose. At least here early, it looks like it's going to be Petey getting off to a 7-1 start. Fully streaked out, trying to work forward with the Erad. He's going to get taken out. Now you see eUnited. They're trying to get some points on the board.
Yeah, you have a chance here to stop this with a body block or an interception. I thought the pick was there, but it goes through. Maybe the player for the interception a little bit too deep into the drone.
Well, it's not going to be an interception. I thought it might
I think
could have as well. But
maybe it's tough to tell, with our angle. Maybe it's a little bit too deep inside of the drone there, but not able to stop the toss. So eUnited gets 1 point on the board, and they keep pushing down this lower side. It's crazy to me how much this map has changed just over the course of the year. You would never see this really that often until I think Karma's the first that really started to flirt with this outer wall run and make plays from this side of the map.
Well, I really think it's been, a lot of the ERAD that's come into play that just makes the inside, hangar just a death trap. I mean, you go inside there, you try and push through those cuts. I mean, the ERAD just mows players down so fast. It's like one team gets over to Robo Bay, they die. The other team gets over towards the doors, they die. They just keep going back and forth. Now, this is actually pretty good for eUnited. As we're just kind of rambling on about nonsense. But I know eUnited, they've gotten the side of Millenium to waste one of the streaks. They get points on the board. Millenium not able to take that streak and turn it into offense. They're only down 1.
Well, that's why they're big, though. It makes sure at least, what would have been a guaranteed point or two probably for eUnited. The streak slows that down, but it is good that eUnited got them to burn it early, like you said. But that's what they're for, those emergency spots where you're getting pressured like that.
But what's the worst thing in the world? I mean, they don't use the streak and they get a 1-point play out of that. I mean, I don't know. I kind of would rather maybe think about using the streaks later in the game.
Well, they've already used one, still some more to work with. Watching Moose here trying to get this kill on Gunless, who, per usual, is just being a nuisance on the map. And Moose, while he's trying to chase Gunless, his teammate comes in and kills him. That is textbook Gunless.
But everybody else on eUnited falls, though. Gunless, the only one up.
That's all you need.
Able to get 2.
They call him the Terminator.
He's got 1 player behind him. Moose is going to give up. Moose is like, I am done chasing this man around. I mean, Gunless, he's done so much to just give his teammates time to get the drone over towards topside, maybe make a play with it. I mean, he is still alive, just wrecking havoc on Millenium. There's a 4 streak there for Gunless before he gets cut down. His teammates get back towards mid-map. They have some semblance of drone control here. eUnited just methodically trying to work in for another score.
I like that. The wrecking havoc, because he's doing a combination of wreaking havoc and wrecking them. That it was very profound.
Oh, thanks.
But Millenium still doing a good job holding on defense. It was 2 kills from Marky B, but obviously Gunless still around being a thorn in the side. Finally, Moose able to pick him up. It's like Moose is on chase and kill Gunless duty right now.
It's his one job.
All right.
So you see now Millenium with drone trying to go through Robo Bay. This is such a difficult spot to bring the drone. It's going to get intercepted quick, but Nolson there, he picks up 2. Should be able to pick the drone up. He settles for the 1-point play. Silly was going to be there, potentially take him out. I think going forward.
Yeah, that was really, really smart. Just toss it through, give yourself the point, especially in a game like this where it's so low scoring, right? 1 point can be the difference in this game. Just get it in. I know it's frustrating to do that when you're basically about to put your face through the goal, but I like the heads-up play from Nolson, and we talked about the fact that he needed to pick it up, and really it's been the entire team. I mean, Moose is actually the lowest slayer really right now for this roster, so everybody picking it up for Millenium. Good first half of gameplay.
Yeah, Millenium seems to be kind of finding their groove right now. It's not only Moose carrying the way here, everybody's stepping up. But you will need to see Moose kind of pick things up. You get that camo, very powerful. You still have some score streaks on the side of Millenium. I believe Petey still has, I believe it's the Trinity rocket. I'll have to go on board with him. I believe, no, it's actually the bombardment. Yeah, so he has the bombardment still ready to use.
All right, let's watch PD for the moment here. Off the break, he had a really good start to the game and kept it going through the first 5 minutes as he has most kills for everyone in the game, sitting at top at 15. First gunfight, oh God, he needs 1 more bullet. And that, again, one of those ones where Gunless just so good at bouncing back and forth, using cover. Just the guy is never, ever an easy kill. Nolson has 1 more player to wrap around the edge. That was Pristini picking up 2 before he ends up falling. The drone just kind of stuck over on this outside cliff. Gunless now gonna have it in hand. PD, again, 2 kills to slow down any push that tries to come through for eUnited.
The eUnited has not been able to get anything going on the offensive side of things. It seems like, Gunless, he'll be able to pick up a kill with the drone in hand and then has to throw it down, gets taken out by the guys of Millenium.
Well, think about last night. If you watch the matches, the match between eUnited and Luminosity on this map, eUnited got blasted for like 3.5 minutes from this side where they couldn't get anything going, they couldn't get on the board, and then they just completely turned the game around and got complete control to close out the game and get a victory. So bad the Classic could never even get in a position to use his camo. They need that kind of play. They have got to flip a switch. I know there's a lot of time to go here, but now beginning to push on forward as Pristini finds the opening kill. Nolson answers right back and slows down the push.
Yeah, Pristini just needs another player to push forward with him here, but Nolson just taking out his teammates from behind, trying to slide on through. Gunless with drone in hand. This may be a scoring opportunity for eUnited, and it is. They get a 1-point play on the board. So eUnited still within striking distance, only down 1. We'll see how PD uses these streaks.
That was nice patience, though, I think, by eUnited to try and get that through. Maybe an interception should have happened for Millenium, but the streak does get called in. What does it provide? Everyone dying?
Yep, that streak was not very good. There's, I believe PD uses the bombardment. They get the drone in Silly's hands. They're trying to throw it forward. It's going to be 3 kills for eUnited. This is going to be a dunk. eUnited will take the lead, and Gunless now gets his camo. So he highlighted Gunless and Moose coming into this game. Why? Both camo players. Camo, the most dominant ability in the game. You're looking to see which one of those guys can get it first, put it to good use. Gunless now has it.
Yeah, and with the control they've had, they're at mid-map. You know, we talked about their lack of offense. Their offense came in a flurry there as they got 3 points in the game. You're pretty much guaranteed 2 from Gunless as long as he can get in position to use that camo. The question will be, can the pressure from Millenium be enough to, I guess, not allow him to get into a spot? But now you have drone in hand. He has the camo. His teammates just have to find a kill or two.
And maybe you, I see there's a difficult predicament, right? I mean, he's so close to score streak, has camo, so he's not going to get the streaks, not going to use the camo there. Maybe you get into one of his teammates' hands, then he's able to pick up the score streak. At least you get the Trinity out of it.
Okay, well, they clean up the 2 Millenium players on the outskirts of the map. Arcides grabs it right away, and they have just had the drone in their hands so frequently through this half. Now Gunless has it. He's up over the top, hasn't used the camo yet, waiting for safety. Should pop it here around the edge. He hasn't even used it. There we go. Finally, the camo comes in. There's the dunk, and there is a bigger lead for eUnited, up 6-3. At least they clear Gunless out of the base there.
Well, he hits that high wall run and then waits till he can get that kind of like boost back to make sure he gets up into the goal, pops the camo, gets around the corner. And just when you thought things were going to go well for Millenium, starting to fall apart here in the second half.
Yep, 3 kills in a row on the kill feed. Nolson was the only one up for Millenium that was able to try and make a play as he drops mid-map, now back in the hands of eUnited. Drone also back in the hands of eUnited. And you just play the clock at this point. 60 seconds to go. Moose is nowhere near camo. Nobody has any payloads to work with. This game is over, bar a huge mistake from eUnited.
Yeah, we saw, I believe, another team do this where they kind of had the drone in the bottom.
I think it was
kind of running around. I believe it was eUnited. You see, it's going to be Sully trying to go for another score. We catch it in third person, gets hit with a nade in the mouth.
That was awesome.
In the back of Helipad, clearing things out. Here comes the streaks. eUnited, man. Gunless, dropping down the Trinity. Pristini over the top, has reactive armor now. This game in the second half has been all eUnited.
It really has. You know, we talked at the beginning of it, could Moose keep it up? You know, Gunless has struggled a little bit in Uplink, but he turned it around. Gunless does it a big way. 6 scores, 25 and 19. Pristini, hell of a job as well. He's got a 30 bomb and 7 kills, make it 8 kills in a row for Pristini with the final seconds ticking away. Any momentum built by Millenium, that search to destroy just got cut down.
Pristini was incredible in the game 1 respawn. I know to fuel that comeback for the side of eUnited, picks up 2 huge kills. And then in this game, 7 streak, getting some score streaks, leading the charge, allowing Gunless to get forward with the drone in hand, put points on the board. eUnited 1 map away from taking this series.
Well, Millenium came into this series not having won a search. They did that. They came in not having won a hardpoint. Can they do that now in game 4? They've got to. I mean, if they take this series, it makes it interesting for a couple reasons. One, Millenium versus Epsilon, who are looking like the 3rd and 4th spots, who's going to be where. And then also for LG and for eUnited. With eUnited beating LG in that game 5 last night, not as big of a deal if eUnited now falls to Millenium. That looks a lot different at the top as well.
Yeah, it's a huge series. Has a lot of ramifications on the rest of the group if Millenium's able to win it. But eUnited looking very strong, man. Look, it'd be very impressive if Millenium comes in here and takes this hard point. But, I mean, the stats show they haven't won one. When they have one basically in their hands, they can't close it out. It's going to be a very difficult map for them.
Maybe they have to fight from behind. A different recipe. Don't lead the entire game.
Yeah, there you go.
Just lead the final 30 seconds.
Let the other team get the lead.
Yeah, that's called something, right?
Sure, that'll work out well.
Let's take a look at the box score here from the Uplink, and you see Millenium complete control, up 3-1 in that first half. They get gutted in the second. 0 points on the board, 7 from eUnited. And Gunless, man, doing it all. 1.32 KD, 6 points with the uplink as well. Brilliant performance from him.
Yeah, now PD was great in the first half of the game. Finishes with 27 kills. Earns himself those score streaks. Now, they didn't really get a lot out of it, though. They got nothing out of the bombardment. Now, the Trinity they used for 1 kill on the defensive end that prevented, at best, a 1-point throw from going up.
It's a tough map, too. I feel like I don't see a ton of clutch plays with streaks here. Usually not playing a nice defensive hold every now and then, but, it's just not as open as something like, a retaliation Hardpoint or something like that.
Or if it was like a throwback.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, streaks, a lot easier to use on throwback, which is a lot of wide open area. Frost, I mean, most of the map is played on the indoors, so the score streak's not able to make a huge impact.
You see Gunless there getting ready. PD on the other side. Again, started out hot, slowed down a little bit in the second half, but he has to go big because we're going to retaliation. As good as Moose has been, will he be good enough to take this game from Millenium in the game 4?
I tell you what, if you get a game like Moose at a game 1 and PD shows up like he did in the uplink, this is definitely going 5.
Can they just both do it at once is the question. Right. Retaliation, I know we talked about Search and Destroy, has been lights out for this eUnited squad, heading there now for Hardpoint. Can they continue that hot streak? They need one more map win to take it, and they're in, firmer control, I guess, of this.
Firmer.
They were in firm, now firmer.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. English.
And I wonder, obviously up until this point, we have not seen a team kind of run the table, like go undefeated during a weekend of the GPL.
Yeah, it was what, 5-1 for Splice and Envy, was it? And then 4-2 was the top last week. eUnited still a chance to go 6-0. And then next week, we'll have Optic and E6 from North America, Red Reserve and Elevate coming in from EU. And I mean, the group right now is looking like it's going to be LG and eUnited top 2. I mean, nothing's done yet. We still have a lot of games to play, but it's looking like North American heavy for this weekend. And you got to wonder what's going to happen next weekend. I mean, you give Red Reserve a chance. They had a really good run at Dallas, but they didn't look great at Birmingham. I mean, Optic, you have to feel pretty secure in. And what E6 are we going to get, though? They've been a little...
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, you've heard a lot of questionable things about the practice, from the side of Red Reserve. I know Elevate, obviously, they have a lot of stuff going on there as well. I mean, a lot of talented players on both those squads, just whether they can put it together against the likes of E6 and Optic Gaming. But game number 4 here, Retaliation, Hardpoint, eUnited, 1 game away from closing the series out. Millenium trying to get their first series win of the weekend here. They need to take this. They need to force that game 5.
Retaliation is where the fight will go down. We are starting off with Arcides. Let's see what he can do for his team of the NV4 out for the bridge Hardpoint. God, I mean, this is one talking point we had here last time was Gunless typically mostly running the K-bar here. We saw him with an NV4 in hand a lot throughout it. We'll see if that changes throughout this game.
It'll be Arcides with the NV4. Some nice range shots there on Nolson. Pristini with a nade that blows up the car on Moose. It'll be eUnited. The first 2 kills in control of the Hardpoint.
Not the start you want if you're Millenium, but you're trying to fight back here. Marky B finds a kill to open things up. Arcides and Silly answer right back. Pristini has 1 tagged and Curb should finish this kill. He flies in and everybody gets cut down. Now Pristini's just pushing him out. He actually forces a split spawn because he's getting so far forward. The one that spawns in the back though, that was actually Nolson, I think, on the opposite side. But it doesn't matter. I mean, they're spawning so far out on either side. No one's really been able to get near the hard point, and this looks to be a perfect hold. They might get 55 points on bridge. Okay, there's a contest at least. Something for this Millenium side. My God, but this is brilliant play. What an opening from eUnited. It is perfect. I want to hear the chat from the team.
One lobby. I think it's my ticket.
I'm marking stairs right now.
I'm gonna help you mark it. Lobby, mark. Nading.
Weak.
Fuck. Didn't hit anything.
He's bedroom, outside bedroom. No, bedroom 1 shot, one shot. He's inside bedroom, Take your time, take your time with the radio.
Back right, 1 shot. He's 1 shot. He's challenging moves.
Good job.
Doesn't need help.
He's going downhill.
You're challenging now. One patio 2. Patio. Good job, let's get patio.
No, we're spawning out. Oh my God!
We're spawning out. Good job, Alex.
You got me stairs. We have to get help.
He's 1 shot stairs.
No, I died.
Super weak stairs.
I spawned bus. I'm challenging.
Yo, he jumped out of bedroom. He's in hill. Bedroom is in hill. Good job.
Bring it
Mark stairs still.
I'm coming
Still
patio,
behind ticket.
patio.
Still behind ticket.
One shot on hill. Mark stairs again. Gas on Mark stairs.
Mark stairs, one shot. Oh, shit. One shot, Moose. Push it.
Yo, I'm pulling out a third MV4. 1 sec.
Go for it. We gotta push it. 5 seconds. Let's go. Big break right here.
One's in the back of the
Play
hill.
left. You don't need to couch.
One shot on hill.
I didn't get any. Go for the sky market. I got a market. One more market.
Ready EMP. They're spawning out.
We're close. Yeah, they're spawning in Narnia. I spawned close market.
I got market.
Close on hill, I'm pretty sure. Yo, it's
Got me. Back car.
Black car.
absolute nulls.
Black car.
Got him close.
I'm market. I spawn market.
We spawn market. We gotta go fast. I'm
Front
one shot. Any help?
take.
There's one in that street.
He's shooting me in the back. I'm trying.
Two in hill. Look at main door. 3 in hill.
I got one. Okay, he shouts back.
He's one shot. Super weak.
Let's go. One and two. Play.
It's gonna be.
Where's my marker?
I got shots. He's one close.
Let's go. Good job.
Oh, you needed me. Fuck.
Good time. I got you. Yo, he's close. Another one.
Millennium have climbed back in this game. We saw Arcades with a nice little turn and burn there at Lower Street. But overall, just the communication you heard from eUnited, what do you think?
I love it. I mean, when we went into their team comms yesterday, they're so calm. You know, everyone just kind of calling out. A lot of times you jump in with comms, it's like, you know, some people repeating the same call out 2-3 times, like just really relaying the necessary information. And now you have Millennium. They have control of Broken. They got behind early in the game, giving up 50 seconds to eUnited over on Bridge, and Marky B has a few players lined up, only able to get one.
Nice little flank there to at least tag him up, and it slows down Silly. He can't make a play yet. Marky B, I think I heard just roar from the main stage when he picked up that 2-piece, doing everything he can. And, you know, you and I have talked a lot about Gunless and how consistent he has been. There's been one map that stood out to me earlier today, but Gunless right now, man, is 2-11.
A really poor performance. I mean, we rarely see this from Gunless. Very difficult, you know, on this map for him to get going.
All right, well, we heard the chatter from the side of eUnited, but it's Millennium that has come roaring back, and all the pressure is on them. Let's see how the guys are handling it.
One bed or hotel, I think.
One bullet new gun.
Yeah,
Gunless, one bullet. Take your time to make entries. We need to go red bar. One maybe flagging bar side. One's gonna be flagging. One's gonna be flagging bridge. Bus. One shot. Really big. Bus. Pristini. He's Pristini's still bar curve. Pristini's still bar curve.
Gunless in hill. One bar. Watch it. Weak.
Push that Gunless. I'm not sure where they're spawning. I'll go left door.
There's two.
Play right.
I'm dead.
Front market. Two of them. Two hotel door. One more behind him.
We can
Hotel door, one. We can out. They're flying on the hotel side. One more there.
Weak. Free in hill. There was free in hill.
Spawn broken. Right, take your time. Don't go yourself. Wait for each other.
One shot. Two plat on me.
I'm gonna go bar. Bro.
With you, bar. It's plat with an ice. One plat, two. One plat.
Head out. Dead.
Silly bedroom. Let's go. I spawned
Stay alive.
He's there.
I'm playing him. Wait, it's still there. Still sliding about. It's plat gunless. I spawn broken.
2 more on me. I got one
more on you.
Two more.
Gunless probably flagging.
Spawn broken.
Gunless probably our court.
Not hitting low. Spawn broken again. Weep behind the white van.
Do it again. Contest.
Flank.
Dead. What's close now? Stelly.
I'm in low now.
Both their side. Curving the hill.
Yeah,
Curving the hill.
Got me, man.
Curving the hill. Last two.
He went lower. Lower as well.
Bring me right, push.
Got me, Christina. Spawn boss mark.
Take your time.
Hey, one back right. One
You get the chatter there for Millennium. It sounded to me like it's Marky B being the leader, making the call. It's letting Moose just focus. I mean, we didn't hear too much chatter from him. He was just gunning people.
Yeah, only when he kind of drops, it's about it. All you hear from Moose.
Gameplay getting hectic.
Yeah, we couldn't see what was going on there, so I would have loved to tell you what he was doing. But Moose, he was doing something during that because he's on a 2 streak right now.
Moose going off. Going off so much.
Those kills were
sick. He's scaring the viewers away. 141, 137. Millennium has the advantage for now, and as I say that, they lose the advantage. But I mean, God, I cannot.
Game one. This is game one.
Stop it! I can't.
Game one.
I can't watch a European team lose another hardpoint. Millennium, you're gonna do it. I believe in you. Everyone believes in you.
Well, eUnited has control of the game right now. They have control of the spawns for the next hardpoint.
Stop breaking. Stop.
Silly coming through top bedroom, picking up some kills. Not exactly like game one, but Millenium, they roar back. They take a lead, and it's erased quickly by eUnited.
All right, still a lot of gameplay, but like you said, they have control of lower street. They also have control of market and spawns for the next hard point. Somebody's got to push up top and try to get through, because Silly's going to be the one to win the race. He spawns his teammate up. And now you have to, now you have to get a break. You have no streaks to work with, no payloads to work with.
If Silly gets streaks here, it's not going to be good.
They could bury them in these next two hard points. They could close the game out unless Millenium is able to get through. And that Millenium lead, like, they haven't scored. They didn't score a point throughout that entire thing. It was 141 to, 138 when I started talking about it. eUnited take control. They still have not scored a point in the last 60 seconds.
And Silly still on that streak. Just trying to pick up some kills here. Looking over his team. Finally, he will fall. So he does not earn score streaks, but still 30 seconds left on this hard point. Millenium, you're starting to see on the mini-map, one by one, they're starting to go at it. Now they have everybody there. Just Pristini alive for eUnited. He's able to get one, buy off a few seconds. So the last 15 will go to Millenium, but they've given up the spawns here to eUnited for Broken.
If I'm a United, I'm like, thank you, sir, for spawning us over at Broken. I mean, you can't just take the final 10 to 15 points like that, because now you have, it's like you just spent 45 seconds fighting. Guess what? Here's another 45 to fight, but you don't have 45 seconds to work with. There's only 25 ticks left for eUnited to take this. Barring a miracle, eUnited's taking this game.
2 kills for eUnited. Nolson trying to get close. He gets taken out. Gunless getting aggressive, flies outside of the hard point, picks up 1. It does not seem like even payload abilities have really kind of come into question in this game. Nobody really, Silly used his FTL jump. You have Marky B with his payload ability, but see Gunless trying to get towards the backside here. The pressure was coming in, just trying to stay alive for a little bit longer.
Matt, the score was 140 to 140.
Yeah, it was.
They got the final 20 seconds here. That put them at what? Just about 190. They'd be trailing by 50. They would have to be perfect. Silly didn't get any of those streaks, right?
Nope.
Okay, so you don't have anything to worry about if you make it to bridge, but you need a perfect hotel hallway. It's an easy hill to contest at times if it's fast-paced and frantic, unless you give a full setup to eUnited. So you get the rest of the time. You're set up pretty nicely here. You have the topside spawn, you have players inside the hard point. Moose has camo to work with.
1 break ends the game, though.
You would need this miracle. This is what we were talking about. Moose is going to use the camo. He gets cut down. 2 kills go the way of eUnited, but able to trade back for Millenium. Gunless just beams one with the ERAD there. Marky B still to deal with inside. Marky B, see you later. Gunless hasn't been able to finish him yet. Somehow he stayed alive, and then he's going to whack him in the back. But his teammates have still fallen. Millenium still somehow holding on. They just haven't got rid of Gunless. Finally, they're able to do it.
Pristini putting in a lot of shots and not able to finish off anybody here in the hotel hallway. That's 2 kills. This is eUnited's best chance. They have a player set up on top plat. Now they have control of hotel hallway.
But it's Nolson trying to come through. Nolson actually kills 2. PD backs him up as well. You're still alive. Somehow the European dream is still alive here for retaliation hardpoint. Can they push it to the game 5? A miracle's what they needed, and maybe we're witnessing it. PD, he's got the reactive to work with. Moose and Marky B coming in on the kill feed. They're set up nicely. They can do this. They only need 25 points. There's no streaks for eUnited.
And they spawned him out pretty far. These first gunfights are going to be huge. Pristini has his payload ability. Moose and Marky B in the feed. Pristini gets 1. Silly with another.
Oh no, it's falling apart here. Is anybody left to make a play? They're ticking away. They're 246 to 239. You still have the reactive. Here we go. PD's in. PD's 1. PD's 2. There's a third in the back. He tags up Silly, holding him off for now. You need just 5 more points. Are they able to do it? PD's going off, but where are his teammates? They're coming in from curb. It's Silly that gets traded out. Kills going back and forth. You just need a couple more ticks. It's contested. 10 seconds left on the hard point. Who's going to win it here, Matt?
This one may go down to the market. Pristini picks up 2. He's got his ability.
Oh my God.
He's not going to pop it, and you see the final second.
Oh, God!
It's going to go to eUnited. They get back to the hard point. Silly gets back to the hill. Gets 1 touch. Oh, man. A crushing loss there from Millenium. Oh, they cannot catch a break, man. Every time where things are going their way, it's just one small thing that goes wrong, and you just see how upset the Millenium guys are right now. I mean, you got to feel for them.
These hard points are gonna, they're giving me anxiety. Like, I just don't know what you need to do. It's just, we talk about how clutch eUnited is. We know they're one of the more clutch teams in the world. They've done it time and time again, but I mean, it's not that you're shocked to see them. They should beat Millenium in a hard point, but it's just like, God, what does Millenium need to do? It's like 10 seconds of decision making one way or another might be the difference there. I thought we were gonna end up rotating out. Like, those moments are so tough to cast. You're just looking at the score, looking back, like who's gonna get in?
Yeah, looking at it, I was like, okay, like somebody's gonna have to, you're gonna have to at least send one player down to market. But I mean, it's just, it's such a tough loss for Millenium.
Well, that does it for the series. eUnited remain undefeated here this weekend, and we've got the man, Pristini, on the stage with Jack.
Finally, Pristini gets his chance for the interview, as now we've heard from all of his teammates, but eUnited atop this group now a perfect 4-0, making it look easy, but maybe not at the end of that game. You said you're a little bit shaky coming to this one, nerves high towards the end of that. Why was that even possible for Millenium to make that close in the end?
Honestly, they just kept on rotating, and we just kept on like falling apart there. Like the communication kind of got slower, and then everybody just got flustered, and it just kind of slowed down. So, I mean, I'm shaking right now. It was a really close game.
Oh, you can just hear it in your voice. No, but you guys do get it done. Now cruising on through this weekend. Everyone playing quite well. The preparation coming into this event, was it as much as you normally had for the major events, or was it kind of, hey, we're already coasting as a team, let's just ride that into the weekend?
Well, it wasn't really that. We just didn't get to practice because I moved, Justin moved. The practice was really weak. Like, we didn't get to practice nearly as much as I'd like to, and the rest of the team would like to. But coming in, I'm happy we were 4-0. This is the least confident I've been with the team since we got really not a lot of practice. So, but I was still confident. I was confident we'd take our pool, but it's just like we're not where we should be. We got a lot of practice to do.
You say you got a lot of practice to do. Obviously already at 4-0 in this pool, feeling confident. Now you guys are done for today. At the end of a day like this, do you guys go ahead and look back at film? Do you guys talk about the matches to be ready to improve them tomorrow? Is that a goal you have now for this team for the rest of the day?
Usually last night we just went out to Buffalo Wild Wings. We kind of talked about it as a team. We talked about some mistakes and what went right, what went wrong, stuff like that. So, I mean, before the matches though, like we'll talk about like what we can sniff out from what they've done before. Like we'll watch film before events and stuff, and we know like Epsilon, when we played them, we knew what they did in the Surge. That's why it was so easy. So they just kept going to every round. We do stuff like that, you know.
Hey, it makes a lot of sense, and it's working for you. 4-0 for eUnited. They're sitting pretty. For now, though, our analysts are ready to go and break down that 3-1 series victory.
Thank you so much, Courage. Give it up once again. That's Pristini, first time on the microphone for us. Did a really nice job there. Fellas, though, this was not the beating we expected from eUnited. It was much closer than any of you guys predicted off camera. And it started with game number 1. Millenium came out swinging. Moose was having one of the best games of his career once again.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, game number 1, you finally got a game where all 4 Millenium players were slaying. I believe at one point there was only one player on Millenium who was -1, and looking at the scoreboard, Hanger just really hurt Millenium. And finally, look at Bridge. They finally do well on a first hill, and that's why they were in the game. They were slaying together. PD, I think, was really the only one negative, and just a heartbreaking loss for Millenium.
Where did it go wrong, TP and Felony? You guys were watching, you started shaking your heads. No, no, no. How does it fall apart for Millenium once again?
Basically, they do such a good job on that second rotation of hard points. They get Turbine. They're looking at it like they're in a good spot, and then all of a sudden, eUnited gets that full hold at Hanger, and that's when our heads start to bow a little bit. We're like, oh no, it's happening, it's happening. Silly's able to get those streaks. Everything just sort of snowballs out of control. And that's been the problem with Millenium and EU teams in general we've seen in the Pro League thus far. They get this lead, they play 90% of the map so well. When it goes down to those situations to stick the knife in, stick the dagger in, the nail in the coffin, they don't do it. They let the game go on just a little bit too far. eUnited claws their way back in.
As Steve said, they were up a decent amount, and then going into that Hanger Hill, Silly gets streaks, and Pristini also picks up some good kills on rotation, and Silly pre-pops his bombardment into the new hill, so to get the Millenium players out of the hill so that they can't just win off those first few seconds. And basically, that was the story of the end of that map.
Great use of streaks, and that continues now for eUnited. You saw Moose at the end of game 1. He played his heart out. His head was in his hands, so frustrated. But but it didn't affect his gameplay. Going right into game 2, he was making noise early on. He worked towards streaks. Joe, what were some of the big takeaways from Search and Destroy? Let's take a look at this 1v1.
I mean, when you're Moose and you're playing that well, you have to realize just some things aren't going to always go your way, but Moose trying to make the best of these situations, playing huge in the respawns, going huge in the Search and Destroy. When you're having such a good weekend or such a good, couple of maps, it's tough because you're trying to do as much as possible, but when you're playing that well, you just have to keep playing at that level and be hopeful that your teammates will pick it up.
Taking a look here at the numbers, it was 6-3 in the end. Moose dropping 12-4. I was up in the Pro Lounge hanging out with Epsilon and Luminosity, and Slack kept saying, Moose is playing godlike, Moose is playing godlike, and when you're playing well in Search and Destroy, you're able to get those camos, which can really just be the game changer. Here's a look at Moose with his camo late in the game. But just talk to me about Moose as a player, guys, because we watched him kind of have a breakout performance back at London at the start of Infinite Warfare. He seemed to be back in this series, but it wasn't enough.
I think this is the first time we've really seen someone contest that camo role as well as like Gunless has been playing it. Moose playing extremely well throughout Infinite Warfare. He's had his up and down years in Call of Duty competitive in general, but you have to give the guy props. He's making a name for himself on this team. Keeping his team in the series as much as he can, he just unfortunately needs a little bit of help.
Yeah, especially after our first map like that, after you have such an amazing performance and still fall short, it's hard to keep your head in the right place and to go on to that next map and still go 12-4. That's really big for his team, and that shows a lot about their composure and his composure just alone.
And you just see the confidence from him. He's in a 1v2. He gets away and just instantly jumps back out, catches those guys off guard. A huge round from Moose.
So Moose going big in the early part of this match. He kind of disappeared, though, when Marky B was at the top of his game in their first series. So let's go now into game number 3. This one, was it a one-sided affair with eUnited outslaying, or did you think this was more even than the scoreboard showed at the end of the uplink?
Going into the first side, Millenium was on the more preferred side. They outscored them 3-1. And then going into the second side, that's where Arstes and Pristini and Gunless really kicked up. They ended up outscoring them and finishing the game out 8-3. Millenium didn't score a single point on their second side, which was the really big factor.
And eUnited, their weakness up to this point was their uplink game. As we take a look at some of the highlights from Game 3, TP, were you impressed with eUnited's ability to kind of rebound in the second half?
Yeah, very impressive stuff overall. And the teams that are going to have success in uplink are the ones that are moving drone forward off of those kills. You see that second or two delay that certain teams have in uplink in specific. These guys weren't having that problem. They get those kills so quickly, they get the points on the board.
And there was a lot of discussion, obviously, because this has been their sort of weaker game type this weekend. But throughout the year, their uplink has been amazing. It's always what kept them in series. They go down 0-2. How do they get that series and sort of get it back into action? They win that uplink for those reverse sweeps. So, maybe just a couple of bad maps, but this is what you expect from them on uplink.
eUnited looking pretty strong in the uplink, and they were dominant after the score was tied 140-140 in game number 4. Somehow, you saw eUnited build up this massive lead. It looks like they're going to slam the door on this series, but Millenium never stopped fighting. Talk to me, second half of game number 4. Where did eUnited build that lead, and how did Millenium bring it right back?
eUnited, they contested Bike Hill for quite a bit. They got about 30 seconds off that, and then they ended up getting the rotation to the Grave Hill. On the Grave Hill, they held a good 40-50 seconds, and instead of rotating, Millenium actually hit that scrap time going into Broken. And going into Broken, they gave eUnited the favorable spawns, but with like 25 seconds left, Millenium ends up breaking through.
eUnited, they have now played 4 matches. They are perfect on days 1 and 2, and we'll get a chance to see them tomorrow. Here's a look at what's been going on with social media, though. Tommy, giving big props to Gunless yesterday, and I agree with him 100%. Tommy, of course, from Fnatic, they'll be playing through the relegation at Anaheim. They've been watching every single match, and he said yesterday, hands down, Gunless is still the best in the game. Always enjoy watching him play. After watching eUnited in back-to-back matches, guys, is Gunless by far the best player on this team, or is it pretty well-rounded squad?
I mean, it's hard not to take something away from another player on that team. They all have their moments, but he outshines just by a bit.
Having camo helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he seems to always be in the right play. His movement is amazing, the way he uses sliding throughout the map. I mean, he's always putting up big numbers. And just looking back at the finals of tournaments that they've been in, Gunless has always been slaying well. I just remember first series at Dallas, Game 5, he has 18 kills in retaliation S&D. Those are the performances that you want from a star player.
And I have to ask you, Teef, sorry. Tommy says he's, without a doubt, hands down, the best player in the game. Do you agree with that statement? If not, who's up there to rival him for the best spot as the top gunner in Call of Duty?
Loaded question, Chris. Thanks for that one.
Yeah.
I will say he's the most well-rounded player and therefore the best player in the game right now. I will go out on a limb and say that. The one thing I was going to bring up is you can see the difference when Gunless has a bad map on this team compared to everyone else. The dramatic difference in gameplay as the whole team. So when he's falling off, the games are quite close. They're trying to claw back, specifically in Uplink. And then one thing, we need to give some props to Pristini, in my opinion. He plays a very tough role in this team in terms of putting on aggression. I think today, in specific, he's playing extremely well, putting a lot of big numbers up on the board for them.
All right, so Tommy says Gunless is the best player in the game. Teep just backed him up. Let us know on Twitter at MLG. And, of course, COD World League on Twitter. Follow us. Let us know your thoughts. Who is the best player in the game right now? It's not the only way to interact. Remember, you can also hang out with us on MLG.tv and participate in the score streaks. Coming into this match, we asked some fresh questions. Our first one, will Millenium score over 200 points in game number 1? Well, most of our friends way off on this one, Joe. Everyone said no, and Millenium came out swinging and Scorch.
To be honest, 232. They say no, but I would have probably picked no as well. I mean, that's a tough question.
I would have said no for sure.
I would have said no.
All right, you missed that one, World, but so did we. Question number 2, will any player finish with more than 10 kills in Game 2? Remember, Silly just finished with 10. This was, will they finish with more than 10? Well, 83% of you said yes, it was going to happen. I bet you didn't expect it to be Moose, though, dropping a 12 bomb.
Well, the way Moose has been playing, you really expect if someone is going to do it, specifically in Search and Destroy, it's going to be him. I definitely would have said yes on that one, especially on Crusher. All
right, and now question 3. How many players will finish the first half of Game 3 with more than 15 kills? 96% of you guys got it wrong.
Wow.
Just 4% went with the correct answer. It was A, 0 players. So when you looked across the kill feed at the end of the first half, very evenly spread. You could definitely see, though, in the second half of the game when eUnited started taking over, that's when it was all said and done. Let's take a look, though, halfway through day number 2. This is who's topping our leaderboard in the score streaks on MLG.tv. We got Obzy HGG. You're missing a few vowels there. Joshua coming in at number 2 with 8 points. It looks like a 5-way tie. And then we got Blues for Life, Towel Twisted, Jason Glenn. And the Virus King Boomer is still in the running with 7 points. He's in back-to-back days. Will we see him on day 3? We'll have to find out. Before we get to day 3, though, we still have the best match of the day. It's Luminosity going up against Epsilon in the rematch.